Yo, what's up everybody, RageCage20 here. Coming at you with something technically new for the channel. I did try recording one of these before in the past. It didn't go too hot in particular, because like it was one of the rare times where I got in my own head, and just the quality that came out just wasn't great. I was like, I'll scrap it. That was Evolve from The Warning. I've only heard Evolve and Choke from The Warning. Have loved both of them. They've both been really good songs, really good musicians here. So I figured mixing The Warning with Metallica, that sounds like a fun event right there. So this is The Warning, and I don't know how to pronounce her name. I don't know if I don't know if it's if she's Latino like The Warning, or Hispanic. I tried looking it up. I don't know which one's actually the correct term. Hispanic seems more like Spain origin. Latino seems more like Latin America, but I don't know. So I don't know if it's Alessia or Alessia. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but something like that. Miss and or Mrs. Cara mixed with The Warning. Sounds like fun. I know a little bit about The Warning. I didn't really follow their journey when they were young, rocking out on some rock band, I believe it was. But I like what I'm hearing now. So official music video looks cool. I'm not gonna lie, pretty decently big Metallica fan, and if you're gonna do a Metallica cover, you gotta come with that James energy, you know what I mean? Like, so I have faith in these ladies, but I might be a little critical. I'm just gonna put that one out there, but I'll do my best just to enjoy the cover for what it is and keep that in mind. So let's bring it on down here and watch Enter Sandman.
Take my hand.
Alright. Okay. Okay. I see what you're coming with here. I see what you're coming with. Okay. Okay. Man, that song was a roller coaster of feelings and emotions for me there. it's like it's like so many thoughts, ideas just flowing throughout that song for me. Um, okay, I'm gonna take the step by step. I'm gonna see if I can remember the process, the thought process going through this here. Okay, so the beginning, I like I like the approach. I like the softer take of everything, the just kind of more acoustic kind of plucking from the guitar and whatnot, kind of the smooth airiness of everything. And then it looked like it's going to be pronounced Alessia or something like that. My pronunciation won't be perfect by any means because I have this weak white tongue, but what are you gonna do? I try. So I'll just call it Ali. 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 She did well with the sounds that were playing alongside her, for kind of like a slower, more beautiful kind of softer version of Enter Sandman, which this is a cover, and it's hard to do a cover of Metallica because it's hard to capture the energy of their lead singer and just the intensity and grit that he can get in his voice. Is hard to perfect and get right. So trying to do a one-for-one cover of that probably is a hard thing to do. So taking it in a different direction is not a bad idea, which is what I was kind of going into this mindset of when I started hearing, the vocals and stuff coming. It's like, okay, they're taking it and they're going a different direction with it. I can respect that. So her voice was matching up perfect to what was happening instrumentally and whatnot. It's kind of like, it definitely was giving me the feeling because I'm a big metal lover. Metal's my shit. Metal's my jam. So it was giving me the feeling just like, this is really pretty. This is really nice, but I'd rather be hearing the original just because of those fucking thick, chunky ass chords. Just that metal and that just voice. Oh yeah, I want to hear that. And this is pretty, but like, it's when I'm hearing the words of Enter Sandman, it's like, man, I'd kind of rather be hearing the original. It's just making me think like, oh man, the original's so good. Kind of want to go hear that now, not this. It was giving me a little bit of that. I'm not gonna lie. I won't lie to you. And then I don't know the correct pronunciation of her name because I'm pretty sure it's the same as relatively the same. Maybe there's some accent stuff with it, but wouldn't also be like we'd say Daniela in English. It's the same in Spanish too, right? Well, the Spanish accent, right? It's still Daniela, right? Anyways, the guitarist. I circled her. You can't see her. The screen's not there anymore. But she was there with the guitar right front and center when the screen ended. You could just use your imagination. Anyways, when she came in, I kind of had this realization. It's like, oh, this is kind of the problem I have a little bit with Violet Orlandi, to where it's like, she was singing in that beautiful kind of open operatic, very gorgeous tone. We'll never question that. Beautiful tone, very clear, very clean, absolutely beautiful sounding. And then, some of the chords and the guitar and everything started to kick in a little bit. It wasn't exactly Metallica level, but they kicked it up from just kind of the soft, sweeping acoustic kind of stuff going on to some more, you know, heavier rock metal sounding stuff. And then Danny, she started singing. And and then she kind of had that more frontal, more nasally, very rock metal sound to her voice. And it's just like, oh yeah, here we go. This is metal right here. And then when it went back to Allie, and she was, now we kind of transitioned to that metal sound from the guitars and the drums and everything. We got heavier with it. She stayed in that open operatic tone, so now she sounded like she was off because she didn't switch her style to fit the style of the music. So you had two different styles clashing with each other, which is the problem I have with Violet. She does that all the time and it drives me absolutely insane. So it was just like, oh, we had metal, and it's like, oh, now we're keeping metal, but now we're going back to that sound that's not metal. And now it's just reminding me, like, man, honestly, I think the Warning should have just taken this one. I feel like they could have done a much more softer yet still more metal sounding tone with it. Then once it got later and they were all singing together, and Allie was mostly focusing on harmonizing and just doing vocalizations and neutral syllables and stuff, it was just like, oh yeah, beautiful. She does a great job harmonizing. For her taking the lead, wasn't really feeling it, if I'm being honest with you. And then at the end there, the very end there, when they actually got that straight true Metallica chords and everything, musical outro, I was just like, oh dude, fuck yeah, it's bitchin'. So I liked it as a cover of this song. I think they did a good job. I kind of would have preferred it just to be The Warning personally, but that's not to say that Alessia is not a fantastic singer. She sounded fucking gorgeous. Her harmonies were fucking on key, on point, very beautiful, very clean, very clear. She's a fantastic singer. It is just when you have like the king of metal and the most famous king of metal songs, or at least this type of metal, which I think originally, what would they call it? They would consider thrash metal when they started, right? I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah, you're gonna take the kings of this thrash and heavy awesome metal, pick their like one of their most known songs, except for maybe Master of Puppet and one, and then like, you know, super the kind of sound really reminds me of that song from Twilight. You know, I'm not trying to be insulting or anything, but just kind of turn into this like kind of softer, kind of Twilighty sound. It's just like, it didn't do it for me personally, which is why I say I would have preferred just The Warning, because I think Daniela would have done an amazing job if just owning this song from start to end. I think her and her sisters, with their harmonies and extra voices and whatnot, would have just crushed it in general. But I'm not against Allie being in this. Anyways, now that I have sufficiently pissed enough people off, let's go back to the beginning here, and let's see if I can put any of this blabbering into cohesive examples in here and whatnot. Let's see what we got here. So it sounds like for the first minute and a half here, we got Allie out the gate. First thing it says, it came in with some nice soft energy. So let's see what that looked like. Remind me here. So you have the basis there of the song. The dun 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 dun. You gotta have that bass sound, the dum, in there, and you have like, it's like a slightly altered, like you can still hear certain interval patterns that is the same as that riff, but like it switches a little bit here and there. But it's also, you got straight up electric bass, but you got some acoustic guitaring in there as well. It sounds like an electric guitar just on just the clean plucked setting there. Hold on. Yeah, it's taking the dun 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 dun. It's taking those notes and just dun 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 dun. Like you get heavy downbeats of those chord changes, but it's not the straight dun 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 dun. You get that like a little bit more separated out with kind of plucked dun 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 dun, kind of little strings in there in between. Again, taking that riff and then expanding on it in this kind of softer acoustic setting. I like that. I like that innovation. I think that's creative. I think that's clever. So starting with that, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, there might have been like a whisper in the original. I didn't think I'd have to listen to the original before listening to this one, so I'm not like a million percent positive. It's been a little bit since I listened to Enter Sandman, but just kind of it has that same kind of airy energy that James comes with it whenever he holds that note right before saying we're off to Never Never Land. Just a kind of airiness to it on that note that he has is really nice. So kind of taking that with this kind of softer smoothness and just kind of having a nice held version of that. And it's very soft, smooth, kind of freeform energy to that. I like it. I like it. You got my attention. And that with the introduction of the drums there. Yeah, kind of the drums themselves kind of took that from just this kind of open, just smooth, just very soft acoustic sound to okay, now we're in rock and metal now. Like the drums with the very very crisp hi-hat and the very snappy snare with that deep kicking drum. Like we're definitely getting into like okay, this metal territory, which now kind of just shifted the energy of everything instantly just by introducing those drums. All right, let's see what it continues to build from here. Yeah, I forgot if she did that or not. I was waiting for that pitch shift down, that little slide down. Yeah, again, Danielle, she's crushing it. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it again, but like she's definitely crushing this cover for sure. And you can kind of even hear it's just instead of being more back in the throat, very open, very almost operatic kind of choral sounding. You can hear the energy is much more forward. Even though she's being very open and airy with it, it's still more, she's positioning it more front, kind of near the nasal passage. You can hear a little bit more of that, a little bit more of the bite on there, more of that metal guitar singing sound to it. It's good stuff right there. Yeah, no, it's very beautiful. I love the little bits of oh, I think I went too far back. Oh, okay, no. I just thought we were at the beginning here again. Yeah, I like some of the vibratos she put in there. I like the sound. I like how it's very it's not all open and legato and whatnot. She definitely has some articulation to it. It's just weird. I think yeah, it just got weird at this point because I think just because we just heard Danielle shift the vocal pitch forward to that more rock sound, and then Ali kind of brings it back towards that more like open, more in the throat sound instead of more up in the nasal passage sound. it's just like all of a sudden we just kind of switched back, and so something about it feels a little bit too soft, because we just, with the introduction of the drums and the way Danielle just sang that, we moved it towards rock, but then we're just like, okay, it's not rock anymore. But nothing else in the instrumentation switched to indicate, okay, we're moving back towards not rock. So it sounds good. Her vocals are very beautiful and clean, but it's just like I'm having this huge clashing of genres in my ear, and I don't feel like they're blending perfectly. They're almost there, but there's something in there that's just like, this is not right, and it's just fucking with my ears. But like, the singing's good. The singing's great. Love the vibrato. Yeah. If I could have used a little bit more grit. I could use a little bit more grit, a little bit more energy to her voice in general. But like after a little bit, it was becoming okay. But then after those dum dum dum, like fucking straight up metal chords coming in there with that aggressiveness, and her just keeping that soft, keep that wide open. It's just like it's not matching the energy that's coming from the guitars, so it's falling a little flat for me. But it still sounds beautiful. Okay, around here I was talking about the build. I liked something in this build here. Not only that little nice little high harmony I just heard with her voice there, but there's something else in here too. It's beautiful harmony going on. Drums getting louder. Very airy. It's got this very good airy sound to it. You know, this part actually sounds pretty good. Again, I do feel like there's a little bit of clashing because it's not meeting the energy that is the drums and the guitars. I feel like the woes are really good. If I feel like the We're Off to Never Neverland had a little bit more, a little more angst, a little more grit, a little more intensity, maybe some aggression to it, I feel like the woes would have been like popped. I feel like those are fine. I think what it's followed up with is lacking a little bit, but sound good. Now here, this is a good switch up. Hearing Daniela sing this part, I think she nailed the softer, not trying to imitate James's voice, but also had that kind of metal energy to it. Something's wrong, shut the lights, heavy thoughts tonight, and they are not Snow White. Even in that out of snow, you know, she had a little bite in that note. Like, yeah, she understood the assignment. Daniela understood the assignment, and she came with it. And there's also a bunch of good harmonies packed into this verse as well. And I kind of like the spacey, airy nature of the effect that they got on her voice in the recording. It is also really nice. But like, yeah, no, she understood the assignment and she came with it. She has that aggression in her voice. She has that power coming out from her notes. Like, she came to crush this assignment. Something's wrong, shut the lights, heavy thoughts tonight, and they are not Snow White. Love it. Dreams of war, dreams of life, dreams of dragons fire, and the things that will bind, yeah. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. So, yeah, nah, that part is so good. So again, it keeps that kind of that softer, more beautiful, less just angst and anger sound to everything, but also has that forward singing, that energy to it, that just power in the vocals and little bits of bite in it to remind us that this is in fact metal. Like, just yeah, that's how you do it. That right there is how you do it. That's absolutely beautiful. And this part here, when we get to the chorus, instead of keeping that forward kind of tempo and momentum to everything, it just kind of it switches up the subdivision and just kind of gives us this slower feel. It's the same tempo, but it kind of has this more free form, just floating, just kind of slower energy to it. I think that's a really cool switch up there, and I think that was a really clever idea. Yeah, beautiful harmonies in it. Nice. Yeah, those woes mixed with just that interval pattern of that guitaring right there, how it kind of slips into this like a little bit of a dissonant note there. Those mesh up really beautifully there. Ooh, nice little slide there. Okay. Yeah, those are gorgeous right there. Right here, the prayer section, and then I said the harmonies with all four of them together, like immediately after, was very fascinating. So let's, I got, what's your name? I know the drummer. I'm trying to remember the bassist. Alejandro. There he is. There's your name. I don't think that's Alejandro though. I think that's the drummer. I know she shortens it to make it easier, and I know in the English and in the white person tongue it will be Paulina, but I the only way I think I have part of this correct is because we had a girl. I've worked with many Mexican women and men at my job, and learning the pronunciations of their names has been fun and hard. But we had a girl named Paula, but it was pronounced Paula, and hers Paulina. So is it Paulina, something like that? Paulina? I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but I try. I'm pretty sure this is Paula, but I'm not 100% positive. I'm very positive. Let me get all of them together again. Where are y'all walking again? Yes. Pretty sure this is Paula who does the prayer, because I know she does. I know Alejandra does some of the backup vocals as well, but I think Paula does most of them. I'm not 100% positive. Maybe they trade a lot. I haven't listened to a lot of them.
Now I lay me down to sleep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep.
It has she has that nice tone that kind of keeps that child energy, because it is at least supposed to be. I don't know who had actually recorded it or not. I don't know that much about Metallica, but I think it's supposed to sounds like a child praying before they go to sleep and whatnot. And so she kind of has that tone in her voice that's keeping that kind of childlike energy in there, and I kind of like the big power chords going on here as well.
Down to sleep. Pray the Lord my soul to keep.
Nice drums in there.
If I die before I wake.
Kind of like that mix between the two there, both those singings and the speaking here.
Pray the Lord my soul to take. Hush, little baby, don't say a word.
So we got used to singing the vocal line. I know Alejandra and Paola and she's starting out just singing open neutral syllables and whatnot, just kind of harmonizing and whatnot. I felt like at the beginning these three were singing the vocal line, but now I'm thinking that these two are not, and these two are. Let me see if I got that right here.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word. And never mind that
Correct.
noise you heard. It's just the beast on
Love the little da in between there. I like that you have two voices doing the vocal line and two just singing these neutral syllables and whatnot. Very gorgeous four-part blend of voices that we have here. We have two harmonies on actual lyrics and two harmonies on top of that of just playing around with different notes and whatnot and neutral syllable. Very gorgeous mashup that we got going on here.
your bed.
And it's also kind of softer. A lot of the instrumentation's dropped off, and you just have, I think, just acoustic chords coming out from a guitar and just that kick pedal from the drum to keep tempo and everything and keep the energy going. Very interesting, like very, very gorgeous part here.
In your closet, in your head. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. And never
God, and that beautiful da in between, right when the vocal line rests before it starts again, that is, yeah, this part is just absolutely gorgeous.
don't say a word. And never mind that noise you heard. It's just
Yeah, they have movement going on from the other two, while either the vocal line is resting or is holding a long note. So they have movement in between what's going on with the melody line. Very beautiful writing there, very gorgeous, very well written.
the beast under your bed. In your closet, in your head. Hush, little baby, don't say a word. And never mind that noise you heard. It's just the beast under your bed. In your closet, in your head. It's in
Yeah, this let's see here. The whole last like 2 minutes of the song are really from like 1:30 on, really. It's just like it's just selling to me. I think Ali does a fantastic job at harmonizing and just holding open notes and whatnot. Like, her voice was just made for that. It's absolutely gorgeous. And you have the intensity and rock singing coming from Daniela, like that mixed with some of these heavier chords and metal sound and everything, just like, and with all the energy you just built from that 4-point vocal solo there. Well, kind of two vocal solos and vocal harmonies, but like still that whole 4-part just vocal section that had like no instrumentation, that just built and built, and then you bring all the instruments in and we've arrived at this place, and you have this beautiful stuff sweeping over the top of it, like the beautiful vocal changes and the held sustained notes just switching over the top of this very passionate singing of the chorus. Like yeah, this last half section here is like breathtakingly gorgeous and really well written, really well performed. Love it. Great little fills there from the drum. Like, yeah, good shit right there. All the instrumentation here is just crushing it. So before we get to that end section there, something I was just kind of thinking, spacing out there, and thinking when I one thing I noted, like all three of them do a really great job. Their vocals are clean. Their vocals are great. I mean, some of the listening to Evolve more closely, when more and more I listen to it, the more I pick up like Alejandra is doing some pretty fast finger work on that bass. Like I hear some of her bass lines kind of creeping in underneath everything else in that song, and like she's growing really fast on bass, which I feel like my fingers would just get tired. So she definitely does great work. The guitar has a great sound to it. She has a great vocalist. But the person who impresses me the most in this group is definitely Paulina. Like, like just the intensity she just has in her face at like all times when she's just rocking down the drums, and the sound and the deep, thick sound she can get from that drum in general. Like she definitely always draws my attention. Like she crushes those drums, and I'm very impressed with her skill on those drums for sure. So that's just kind of what I was thinking there. But let's hear that held note and or vocal and or guitar note there before it kicked into the copying, like the copy and paste of the Metallica sound that they nailed at the outro there, and they kind of blended into it really, really coolly, and I didn't notice that the first time. I like that driving kind of sound coming from the drums, kind of kicking more of the energy back in from the kind of slow, and we gotta kick it back to that original kind of fast-paced tempo, which is going to be needed when you shift into Metallica's tempo, because that's exactly, or the Metallica sound, because that's the exact tempo that they're going. So that was a smart transition back into that faster. I used the word earlier. It can come back to me again. Not syncopation, but subdivision. That's the word. Into that faster subdivision there. Like that. Very nice. I want to hear where that transition comes in at. Yeah, after that fill that Paulina does, she then gets back into that faster subdivision there. I like that. I do like that. No, the way that goes up there on that harmonizing. Well, there's harmonies in it. I think there's two voices in there. But anyways, yeah, I do like that little jump up that happens there. It's almost like, first off, the effect they put on is really awesome, but it's almost like a screaming out section of that held note into the metal. That's really fucking cool. This is the metal sound I crave. This is awesome. We get my metal fix at the end here too. I love it. Woo! So again, mixed emotions, because it's like when I hear that end part there, it's like, oh man, I wish they did the whole song like that. But then at the same time, it's like, but then again, I really like how they got creative with it and made it their own thing. I really like and respect that as well. But it's like, it's like the first minute of it, it's just like, I'm not 100% feeling it. Like the first minute I'm not really feeling, but then when they switch over to Daniela around they have the build, and then around 1:30 switches over to her, like then on they're just fucking, they're cooking with gas and they're crushing it. So it's just like, again, while she has, she it's like I like that they have Alessia. I don't know how to pronounce it. Whatever. I'm gonna keep calling her Allie, but you know who I'm talking about. I like that they have Allie in here for the, this beautiful stuff and all the open harmonies, and when her and Daniela are singing together, it's very gorgeous and whatnot. She does a great job harmonizing with her well. So, if they were going to have Allie in here, I kind of wish that she didn't have any of the lead vocal lines at the start there. I kind of wish that Daniela just took it from word one. Because I feel like I'm not, again, it's nothing against her. It's just to me, it sounds like she's singing in a completely different genre. Yet the instruments are like, no, we're here for metal, and they're like doing some clashing. It's like, to my ears, it's just like, this is not right. So for me, it's just like, I really wish she didn't take the beginning, because it at least would have sung it more like Daniela did, because that fit the genre, even though it sounded softer and not that thrashing metal like to it. It still had the correct singing style that fit the genre, but she also softened it up and made it beautiful and gorgeous to fit the different direction they were going in. So it's just like, it felt like Allie didn't hit the assignment. Daniela read the assignment, she understood the assignment, and she fucking crushed the shit out of it, and I felt like Allie was trying to play catch up. So when she was just harmonizing the stuff, she did a fantastic job, but I don't think she should have had the intro. But that's just my opinion personally. So the last 3/4 of this song, fucking bumping, dude. Fucking crushing, and they give you that sweet ass Metallica kick at the end. Like, really well written, really well created. Really well done. Just don't like the first minute. But that's alright. You're not gonna love everything. I gotta go listen to the original now, because now just that metal, they left me with that taste of the metal, and I need more. So now I gotta go listen to the original. But I like this cover. I think I'm gonna be listening to it quite a bit as well after this. So fantastic cover. I do need to check out more from The Warning. I know a lot of people like to listen to them live. I'm a little gun shy about that, because I just don't like to listen to live stuff usually on this channel in general, because I really love the small little intricacies and creativeness that you can add into a song through the studio versions. So when you take that out live, and you also have a little bit of sometimes incorrect tonality and or things just being altered and not sounding as good as the original, it kind of drives my ears nuts a little bit. So I usually don't like to listen to things live on here. I do enjoy live stuff from time to time, especially Camelot. Camelot does amazing live stuff. But just, so probably check out more from The Warning. But it probably won't be live. Not that anyone was asking for that. I'm just saying, just sharing my thoughts as they come to me. So, thank you for joining me here. The Warning in Alessia, Cara. Thank you for the music. I appreciate it. And I will see you all next time.